La ciudad sin calles. Gente, ¿qué tal? Aquí andamos.
But what I want to tell you about now is the horses. There are horses living wild in this town. I forget how they got there. They don't stay in stalls. They sleep outside. They walk through the town on the streets or on the sidewalks, and the people of the town think of them as elegant, wordless neighbors. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1.
Vamos con eso. ¿Se acuerdan de los caballos? Upa. Elegí algo sin darme cuenta por presionar mucho.
Some sailors blame corked rocks. Whatever the geological explanation, the islands of the Echo River are mostly transient, rising and diving on some inscrutable schedule. The following islands are presently underwater. Tearless Rock, Island of Eusapia, Endless Island, Jerry's Island, Undocumented Island, Island of Heart Sickness, the Beasley Keys. This list is current as of now. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. Perhaps it's the violent displacement of natural gases. Perhaps the river tilts to face them. Whatever the geological explanation.
Solo eso.
The islands of the following islands, Tearless Rock, Island.
Estoy súper resfriado, gente.
This list is for a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1.
Ajá.
For forgotten places, 2.
Vamos al 2.
For secret to forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs.
Ajá,
right?
sí.
For the town with no roads to it, press
Ya la
1.
vimos.
For the silo of late reflections, press 2.
Vamos al silo de los reflejos tardíos.
There is a silo so tall and strange that it can take years for an echoing word to bounce from bottom to top and then bottom again. If you wait patiently, you may overhear the conversations of earlier visitors. I once had an argument there with a dear friend, but I forget what it was about, and we haven't spoken since. Maybe I'll go find out someday. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3.
Lugares
For
incansables.
the cluttered
Okay.
place, press 1.
Vamos al lugar sucio.
There is a place always cluttered by debris floating along the water. Otherwise, it's unremarkable. In fact, the only way to find it is to notice that there happens to be more trash there than anywhere else around. I wonder why that is. For a diver's guide to underwater islands,
Ya sé.
for the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place,
El lugar inundado.
press 2. For a list of the places where people can't sleep, press 3. There is a place that regularly floods. I first saw this place years ago when an acquaintance of mine, an artist, built an installation there.
Lula.
The work was very complicated. All of her artwork is. I remember it was made from huge piles of recycled newspapers. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to complete it before the flood came and wiped it out. The next time I passed by this place, it was full of young men and women on bicycles. They'd built a track weaving through the soggy ruins of my acquaintance's flooded artwork. The rising water level quickly made it too dangerous to ride in anymore, and many bicycles were crashed and abandoned. The last time I saw the place,
Cambié de oreja, no
it
sé,
had
para
been
variar.
repurposed to store handmade pottery earmarked for sale out of state. By the time I arrived, there was just a pile of ceramic fragments dashed by floodwaters against rusting bicycles and gray pulp. I've heard recently that this place has been reclaimed again. Surely this time, things will be different. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2.
¿Qué sería el 4?
For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah,
No sé lo que es
press
eso.
4. The Iron Pariah is just what she's called along the Echo River. Of course, she once had another name, but it's been scratched away, maybe out of shame? Or maybe she took a bend too sharply and left her true name on a rock. So, what else? We know she was in the war, but neither side would claim her. We don't know if anyone's aboard. She drifts along the water and commands a wide berth. Tourists, if you hope to document the Iron Pariah, I fear you will be disappointed. She has a beguiling way of vanishing from photographs. Steer to shore and let her be carried along in silence. Pilgrims, I wouldn't dare to interfere. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1.
Qué bizarro, gente. Está muy interesante por lo demás.
Press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations,
Food and drinks
press
recommendations.
5. For food, press 1. For drink, press 2. If you plan your journey along the Echo to be a
¿Dónde
slow
comer, no? En el
and
río
thoughtful
Eco.
one, you will surely want to eat. It's true, and even advanced preparation can still fail you. Maybe the food you've packed will fall in the water and be spoiled. Or it could
Bueno,
be
esto es
stolen
Cortázar.
by a
Esto es
bat.
Cortázar. Es como el estilo que
Well,
usa,
the water
¿no? Cortázar en,
sustains all
sus novelas.
travelers. Catch it yourself in the river, or have something prepared for you at this place out on the lake. There's a restaurant. It's called. Well, it's out on Lake Letha. It has to be out there where the water is deepest. If you go early in the morning, you might see the diver bring in his nightly haul. Weird creatures from weird depths, fish, crabs, jellies, things we don't have proper names for at this elevation. Sam and Ida's, that's the name of it. Sam dives, Ida cooks. Unique fare and uncommon conversation, to say nothing of the decor. If you do stop by, tell them I said hello, and that they're always in my thoughts and prayers. For a diver's guide to underwater
Ya,
islands.
vamos nuevamente
For
a
food,
comida y
press
bebida,
1.
pero vamos a bebida ahora.
For drink, press 2. To return to the main menu, press. The water is fine, but more adventurous tourists will surely be looking for stronger stuff. Move quickly along past any strangers with cheap bourbon flasks. You can get that hard times rot gut anywhere. If you're traveling by boat, you'll want the traditional seafarer's liquor. As it happens, there's a watering hole called the Rum Colony, wholly devoted to the stuff. You know, mixed with sugar and bright colors. I've heard it's excellent, but I never drink the stuff. I take my spirits clear. For a diver's guide to underwater
¿Qué más nos queda
islands,
conocer,
press
gente?
1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6.
Menú principal.
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press
Vamos
3.
con eso. Vamos con
For a
eso.
catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1.
Venga.
Now I play you several recordings of Echo River birdsong. When you hear a song you want to know more about, just press 1.
Ok.
At any time you can press 5 to stop. The rock sparrow. Don't feed him. He'll come back with friends. You've got a gray-beaked grouse there. Not my favorite bird.
Los urogallos.
That's a morning hummingbird, so named because they bury their dead. That's just a pigeon.
Ojo.
I believe that's a painted avocet. If you catch him, you can make a nice pigment from his feathers. The peat-breathed riverbill. Keep an eye on that one. They make their nests out of stolen jewelry. For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2.
Vamos con
The
eso.
wet, rocky contours of the Echo River make for sometimes baffling reverberations that turn mundane sounds into weird, rattling symphonies. Like that. It can be a challenge to pick through the clamor and recognize even something as simple as water dropping in a metal bucket, especially in the dark. Here are some examples. When you hear a sound you want to know more about, just press 1.
Venga.
At any time, you can press 5 to stop. And that was a canoe tipping over from several miles away. That was someone burning a phone book. That was someone tearing up an electric bill.
Qué absurdo, weón.
That was a phone ringing underwater.
Oh, qué locos. Una moto.
That was a motorboat's propeller failing.
No tengo idea.
That was dirt being thrown on the lid of a coffin.
Ok, ok.
For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1. For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2. If you are hearing organ music, press 3. Lucky you. Does it sound like this?
Qué divertido, gente. Qué bien suena eso, ¿eh? Nada. Y se oye tan distorsionado, así como teléfono, digamos, ¿no? Se oye low-fi, ¿no? ¿Cómo paramos este rollo? ¿Será que tengo que colgar? Uy, tendría que marcar de nuevo este rollo. No, esto no para, gente. Bye, bye, bye. Bah. ¿Y bien? ¿A dónde vamos? Bob y Emily, no tenemos idea de quiénes son. Me vendrían bien unos tacos, me tinca. Me siento un poco abrumada, son como demasiadas opciones. Los tacos. Se comió la asesina. ¿Estos son mexicanos o qué? Se supone que hay una especie de cueva inundándose cerca. Sí, vamos. ¡Yay! Ok, de paseo por el río Eco, gente. Vale, lo dejamos hasta aquí y continuamos en el próximo video.